7 years ago, we started a game dev studio. We were making games for mobile devices, and after a little more than a year, we had our first commercial game. But we loved deep stories with great graphics and great characters, and we decided to switch from mobile to PC. And we chose the easiest genre to make, a survival horror in third person. Yeah, I know that's crazy. We had made the biggest mistake that every tutorial on YouTube talks about. Don't start with a big game. And that's what we did. And we made it really far in development. We even had a good demo that looked great. And we raised from interest from publishers. But to their eyes, we had no experience. And they were right. I mean, it was the same with our first mobile game. We had no experience. But still, the risk was too high. And after 2 years developing the game, we had to make a choice. We had to stop and cancel the game. After struggling a little, it took us some time and effort to recover from canceling the game. But we chose another game, a platformer. It was easier to make, it required less resources, and probably a smaller team. It was perfect. Project Transmute was born. After some iterations, we found out that the game was getting bigger. It was evolving, it was getting better, but it went from being a platformer to being a Metroidvania. Yeah, you must be thinking you guys don't learn, and you are probably right. But it is still easier than making a AA game with a team of 3 people, like we were at the time. So it was the right decision for us. After all, the company survived. We got some funding from the government that we used. We are now 6 people developing the game, and we know it is not easy. After all, there is no easy genre. There is no easy game. But at least this is more achievable for the experience and the team that we have at the moment. How does it feel to cancel a game then? Well, at least in our case, we were not canceling a game, we were canceling a dream, which was pretty heartbreaking. We had to overcome this, and it took time, it took effort, it took a lot of struggling. Another thing, and probably the only good thing about canceling a game, is the experience that you gain. This is still with you. And this leads to the next point, because this experience is with you. But if the team breaks, and this can happen, if the team breaks after canceling a game, then the only experience that you have is the experience from your perspective or from your field, programming, art, or whatever, not the entire team. We were lucky enough that the team is still together, and we are still working on the same on the new game, and we are the same team. Okay, now we go to the next step, which is the game disclosed or undisclosed? In our case, our game was undisclosed, so nobody cared if we canceled the game, and this was the case for Whispers. So we canceled the game. The only people that cared about the game, it was us and probably the manager that was working with us at the time. But if the game is disclosed, you can disappoint a community. And there's also an impact on public image, probably public bankruptcy, because there's another point for both sides. You lose time and money. And I remember a phrase from World of Warcraft: time is money, friend.
Time is
So
money,
you lose
friend.
time, you lose money. So canceling a game is not easy, and it is not very rewarding, actually. But if you need to do it fast. Make the decision as soon as possible so the impact is not as big and you can recover from it faster. Do we recommend to start with a huge game? Of course not. Unless you want to be spending lots of time and effort knowing that the success rate is really low. And we have been developing games for more than 10 years, 7 years since we started the company. So what is there for the team? We are going to the other side, that is closed game, at least with a small community if you want to join us in this journey of making this game and releasing it. So thank you for supporting us, and if you can help us with a like, a subscribe, or following us on the other accounts or social networks, we really appreciate it. And thank you.